I noticed earlier in the conversation you mentioned you started in your very young age, around 20s, through acquiring real estate that is positive gearing or neutral gearing. Given that the current market in Melbourne probably doesn't have any more positive gearing property, especially for someone that's looking to jump into the market towards the end of the market, not as a developer, how would you say for a young person getting into investment, what would be the best option?
Well, it doesn't work in the inner city. I mean, if you, depending on how far, this goes back to motivation. When I was buying real estate, and if you read through the book, it talked about buying a badge from Hong Kong for $7 and selling it for 100 Ferrari badges. You know, that's how it sort of started. And there was a demand there until I got a letter from Ferrari. and that all come to an end. But when I used to buy real estate, it was never, it wasn't 101 Collins Street. No, it was regional real estate. So I was buying homes for $50,000 or $60,000 when I started, and selling them for 90 3 months later. And I may have the lawns mowed and paint just the front of the house, not even the sides, not even the interior. Have it cleaned out, but spend about $2,000 and I would sell it. The big key thing for real estate, like for me, and then further to that, I did a lot of work, and I spent a lot of money on seminars when I was young, learning by some of the best in the world. It's in the book. I did work with Robert Kiyosaki. I used to sit on those forums when there was 10 people in the room after he wrote his book. And I learned a lot about gearing and positive cash flow. So, for example, finance was a big thing for me back then. I'd buy a property for $90,000, put $9,000 down, borrow the balance, tart the property up, on-sell the property for $140,000. I'd pay 10%. I'd get a new buyer to come in at 20, and I might have had an obligation to the bank for $500 a month, and the new buyer was paying me $1,400, and I wouldn't let go of the mortgage until they paid me out. So one of my mentors said, "Don't work for money, print it." Now it sounds coarse, but that was I was 20, it's 36 years ago. So you can do, and people say, "Oh, it can't be done, it can't be done." You need to go 2 to 3 hours out of the city. There are properties around now. You can buy a property now for $200,000, but you'll need to drive 2 hours. It's not the inner city.